What up? What up? This is Rico from Reflection Comics, and this is my main man, Marvin McDonald, owner, creator of the Swerveverse. And this is your first edition of Reflection Comics, I guess you could say Indie Spotlight.
Yep.
And I'm just here to interview my main man, Marvin McDonald, ask him about what he did to get into the industry, what he's doing for the industry, what his future, I guess you could say, ventures for the industry, and obviously, his job as a comic book creator, writer, and artist. So let's jump right into it. Marvin, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Good, good. How's your day?
First of all, let me thank you for having me up here to Reflection Comics in
Hey.
order to do the interview and everything and stuff. So I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. So, what's new?
Well, what's new? I know I've been telling everybody that Heart 2, the hardcore has been coming, but it's finally in the finished process and everything, and it will be out. I'm trying to have it debut at August 1st through the 3rd at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, and that's where I always like to preview and present my new stuff. And I'm gonna have that out, and I'm also trying to have another second comic book coming out, just a little flip through comic book with some of my female characters and some of the swimsuit stuff and everything, just to give another side of the Swerveverse. That's all.
Mm-hmm. So, exactly what comic book? What did you just put out? You just put out
I just put out The Red Door.
which is a horror comic. What? A horror comic? This one right here, Beyond the Red Door. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
The Red Door, like everything with Swerve Comics, it all starts from, first of all, Swerve Comics is a Florida-based comic book. So if you're a Floridian, you got the cosign on it. So
yeah, right.
it's all about Florida. It starts out of Lake Okeechobee and the green and blue and the red tide algae blooms. Finally, all that stuff is finally like starting to contaminate us and start to give people different kind of powers and ability. So that's the base of the Swerveverse. That's the base of Swerve Comics. I'm actually using actual real cities in Florida. Like I said, Lake Okeechobee. So it'll be stuff going on in Okeechobee. It'll be stuff going in Southwest Florida and Fort Myers area. Hell, even in Lehigh, even over in Orlando, Tampa, all the way up to Jacksonville, from Duval to Dade. I got it all across the map. I'm trying to put Florida on the map in the comic book industry. Not trying to say if somebody else hasn't done it already, but I'm just trying to do it with my thing.
Right.
And like I was saying, though, the Red Door is, I do heroes and horror. So I got a hero comic book with Hardcore, Chronicles of the Hit Squad. And so I just dropped another side of it with the horror tip. So it's basically, the Red Door is just the horror side of it. It's still the same effect with the red tide algae blooms and the green and blue algae blooms, stuff like that happening. But it just gives you another side of how they get contaminated. Some creepy stuff happen and some hero stuff happen. And in that book, you'll see that it's about a little girl and her 3 dolls, and she is like a protector of like children and stuff.
Right, right.
And then it's got an important lesson in the back of the book. I'm not going to tell you about it because I want you to get the book so you can read it and understand it. I put a couple of issues out. I got a couple of good response on it, good reviews, but I'm trying to make things a little bit more, a little bit better. So, you know, I like critiques. If it's going to be an honest critique, I take honest critiques. If you're just here to hate, you'll get
let the haters move on, right?
You won't get no response if
you
you're
just
trying
got the
to
hater
hate.
block on, you know.
I got the hater blockers
Yeah.
on. I got all that on, so I'm not even worried
So-
about that.
Is there a main universe? What I mean by that is there one comic book that branches out to all of these other comic books in this universe you're creating? And do they ever have a team up to go back to the main universe? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, well, if you want something like that, that's definitely Hardcore Chronicles of the Hit Squad.
Yeah.
It starts off with 8 Ball, who lives in Southwest Florida, Fort Myers area, you know what I'm saying, Punta Gorda area. So, like I said, I'm putting all the towns on the map, and it goes from there. It starts off with him learning more about his powers, and he getting caught up in some underground criminal world stuff. And from there, it can cross over into the Red Door, which some of it will.
Yeah.
And as the comic book grows and the story advances, you'll see that it does reaches out more and it goes over to other things and stuff like that. You'll meet new heroes, you'll meet new villains and stuff. In the first book, I introduce you to the Pit, and that's like an underground fighting organization for the kids who got powers and stuff, and they want to make a name for themselves. They can join gangs and stuff like that, because that's part of the problem with the kids getting their new powers and stuff. New gangs are coming up and they're trying to take over the city.
Cool.
So in different areas, some of the kids saying, hell no, we're not going to have that. And in some of the areas, the kids are like, yeah, we're finna run the city. So with that, it will branch out and take you into different characters,
Mhm.
give you different enemies, different new heroes and stuff like that. I want this to be big. I wanted to start in Florida, blow Florida up, and then stretch on out to the other southern states and stuff like that until it become worldwide.
That's a lot to take in, right? One thing I want to say about these two comic books is the color use, how you use color, and how you dissect depth and symmetry, and also just saturation of color in these comics. This is when I first read this one, Chronicles of a Head Squad Hardcore. It was almost like a black and white comic with
Yeah.
splashes of color. And then I read his new horror comic, Beyond the Red Door, and it's still you have a one color base, but you manipulate that color to fill in shading, high and low lights. And that's I'm complimenting you on that.
Thank
You know how you know the color grade, man.
Yeah.
And that's what's up. And that's the basics for you guys that are trying to make comic books or just trying to get into the art industry. You got to know the color wheel, and you got to know how other colors contrast with other colors to make a scene and to show emotion and depth. And yo, you got it.
I
You got
appreciate
it.
it, man. Well, like I said, you got to know the color spectrum,
Yes.
you know, and like I said, the color wheel. You know, some colors complement others, and it can mute other colors
Mhm.
and like splash and mute other stuff out. But my thing is, I try to use the color to make you follow the comic.
Mm.
So if it's a color in there, it's taking you somewhere else. It's going to happen something more exciting. Or if I got color on that character, keep an eye on that character because something else is going to happen to it.
Yeah.
So it helps you lead you through the story palette to make you understand. Oh, so that's what he's got.
Gotcha.
That's why his eyes are blue like that. Oh, so
Mhm.
his eyes have an important role in the book. And it's just something different. I don't know if other artists have done it. I'm not trying to copy nobody else's stuff. I'm just doing what I feel, what I like. And that's the whole part of the creative process for
Cool.
me.
Well, there you have it. That's Marvin McDonald, owner and creator of the Swerveverse. And just a quick wrap up. Where can we find your comic books? Do
Well, you
have
can
a
find,
website?
I got a website.
Yeah.
You can go to, and I always give free sneak peeks of every book on swervecomics.com. That's SWURVE comics.com. And, you know, before you buy, I want you to come and do a sneak peek. So you can go on to the website, click on it. I have posters on there, different kinds of other art I have going on and stuff, but you can click on the sneak peek and you get a sneak peek of Hardcore, and you also get a sneak peek of Behind the Red Door. And so, like I said, and if you want to buy it in physical, when you do that, you always got to come to this man right here, Reflection Comics, right here in Punta Gorda, Florida. And like I say, I'm a Florida-based comic book creator, so I big up everything in Florida, especially Southwest Florida, because that's where I live. So I work off of that base, and that's where you can get stuff from.
And can we expect any future Hardcore issue 2s or be on the Red Door issue 2s or even a third comic book that's going to help build this universe you're creating?
Well, like I
In the near
say,
future, at least.
yeah, in the future, Hardcore 2 is coming. I
Release
promise.
date? Release
I
date?
promise. I
We got a
promise.
release date?
I promise.
Something I can put right there, man.
Put it right across the top, stamp it on my
Soon.
forehead. It'll be
It's coming.
August 1st.
August 1st.
I'm trying to get into Tampa Bay Comic Con,
Okay.
and that's August 1st. But I promise, August 1st. And I'm gonna try to drop that, and also give you a sneak peek of the little swimsuit book I got coming up, some of my female characters, and have that out as well too. And the other comic book that you said that will be coming in future tense is called One Shot One Comic. So it's called OS OS. Okay. So One Shot One Comic.
One shot, one comic.
One Shot One Comic. OSOK.
Well, there you have it.
And that book right there will give you, it's kind of like a sample of other books, that other art that I've done. And basically that book is to give it to other folks to let them know that no new stuff is coming. Yeah.
There you have it. This is Marvin McDonald, creator of the Swerveverse. I'm Rico, Reflection Comics, and that's your indie spotlight. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and follow, and don't forget to comment. Follow my main man, Marvin McDonald, on Swerveverse.
Check me out on TikTok and Instagram.
All forms of social media.
Boom.
Peace.